Hey guys, we're gonna do an album review again. Again, I'm not turning this into a review channel, but I kind of want to talk about this one because this one was pretty interesting, and it is Big Brothers and the Holding Companies. Big Brothers and the Holding Companies. Big Brother and the Holding Companies. Cheap Thrills. Now, this album pretty much gave Janis Joplin her voice, her career, and I think even changed music, and I'm going to get all into that. But before I talk about it, sorry, I got to talk about this. Now, if you don't know the album cover for Cheap Thrills, it's done in a comic book image, and one of those panels has a racial image in it of a black woman. Yeah, it sucks. And it was done by R. Crumb, and if you know anything by R. Crumb, he was like a underground cartoonist from the day. He said he did it for satire, and it's not supposed to be taken seriously, but if you know anything about R. Crumb, which I do because I like comic books, it's hard to trust him, because he did a lot of shady stuff back in the day. But and I get it why people would probably turn off from this album from that one racial image. But you gotta remember the times, and you also gotta remember, still doesn't take away from the great music on this album. We're not here to talk about the racial image on it. It's only one on there. But I wanted to talk about this because the music's so great. If you think you still can't listen to it because of the racial image, I perfectly understand. It sucks that was on there. But it still doesn't take away from the great music. And Janis herself was not racist. She worked with, she liked a lot of black singers and stuff. So keep that in mind. Anywho, let's talk about the album itself, though. Ball and Chain, Summertime are my two favorite songs, because I think they're perfect songs to point out her Janis vocal delivery. She can go high up to the bluesy kind of tempo, to the more soft tempo, to raspy. It's great. And I think, and of course there's more songs on there that are good, but those are my two favorites. And man, this album is just good. The only really problem, I guess, I can kind of point out, and it's not really a problem for me, more than the problem with younger people, I guess, would be maybe the deduction is a little outdated, if you get what I mean. I personally don't have a problem with it, but I can see people who are more used to the modern day deduction, to have somewhat of a problem with it, which, no problem, you can always find, better copies of this album, because to be fair, it gets even rough even for me sometimes. Which, it does fit its aesthetic, don't get me wrong, that bluesy aesthetic. But I can still see some younger people not digging this album too much because of its, roughness. But, if you like that sort of thing like I do, you'll love it. And like I said, there is better copies out there. So, yeah, I give this album, a 10 out of 10. It's a great album, nostalgic-wise, and even modern-wise. I mean, even though the deduction is kind of passé, I think it still changed music for the better. So, because if you think about it, blues rock had its voice a little bit, but not until this album came out. This was before Eric Clapton. This was even before, a little before Jimi Hendrix got popular, I think. So blues rock needed its voice, and when that was Janis Joplin and Big Brother and the Holding Company. So check this out, please. It's a great album. And like I said before, even though he has with the sucky racist image on it, which sucks, but it still doesn't take away from the music. So check it out.